Well, hello everyone. So what I'm going to be doing right now is telling some jokes or BSing for a few minutes. Per the request, this road's really bumpy. Per the request of a lot of people on Facebook, I found that I start talking immediately about what I want to talk about, and that really makes everybody miss the first few seconds. So I'm just going to wait it out for the next 30 seconds here, and then we'll get started. I'm running really late this morning to work. I overslept. There's no other excuse for it. My alarm went off at 6:35, and I got out of bed at 7:35, which I need to leave at 7:30 to get to work on time. So this was kind of not that good of a day starting off. So what I want to tell you about is what you can expect from the FBA Master blog today, and give you guys kind of a in-person take of what you're about to read. Today we are releasing my second post in the saga of my suspension story. And it's bad. I tell you guys I broke a lot of rules, and I really did. So it's not that I'm trying to make it sound more dramatic or I'm trying to act like I'm perfect. I really screwed this one up. Oh wow, it's really shaky in my car today. So what ended up happening, so you guys read my initial blog post on FBAmaster.com, for any of you who didn't. And it was a suspension story about how I got an email while I was at the golf course and basically said, your account's suspended. Tried to get out of it and didn't get my account back. Well, today's post, I tell you what the heck I did wrong. And looking back at it, I could try to blame a lot of different things, but ultimately it was my fault. The signs were there. I didn't pay attention, which was, again, my fault. So I think there were a few different things that went wrong. I had one product that was, for some reason, got changed on the ASIN, or the ASIN number, and I'm pretty sure it went from like a pack of 1 to a pack of 6. Because I kept getting really angry people emailing me saying, hey, you only sent me one of these. I'm like, yeah, that's what the listing was. I just kind of ignored it, figured people were trying to get something free, and didn't do anything more about it. So that was kind of mistake number one. If you get somebody telling you the ASIN is messed up, that is a pretty major offense. So please take the time to investigate it. Don't just archive or delete that email and go, they'll be fine. That's a really bad idea. The second thing that I did was I used to run expiration dates real close. Like if I had about 6 days left on the expiration date, I'd go ahead and send it in. And that was dumbass move number 2 there, because we got some that were expired. And those expired, Amazon didn't pull them, and I didn't really have a system in place to pull them either. Looking back, I should have used Inventory Labs to send me reminders, or Inventory Lab. It's not Labs. I apologize for everybody that I keep telling you that. That's just what I call it. Here in the Midwest, it is very common to add a apostrophe S or an S to the end of things, because that's the way we talk. Like there's a store called Meijer. We call it Myers. So very random story there. But I screwed that one up. I also had some cease and desist letters it was this joint compound thing from Walgreens, making great money on it. But I also have a feeling that those people filed a complaint against me as well. I don't think they were the sole reason I got suspended by anything, but they were saying I was not selling the product as listed on the page. So I think you put all of that together, along with a huge increase in volume, and I mean, my account wasn't bad. I had a 100% feedback rating. I had like over 400 reviews, 200, 400, something like that. I mean, my account was in pretty good shape. I was turning and burning a lot of money through it. And it was a disaster when this struck. Oh my Lord, I thought, well, I'll never sell on Amazon again. I'm done with this crap. And the third part, which will come out next Monday, will actually tell you guys what I had to do to get back on this. And when I started writing it, it's probably the scariest post we've written for the page. And just going to be 100% honest with you there, it's extremely, to have an audience and to basically flat out say, I screwed up, and here's why, and here's how I did it, and oh, not to mention, here's how I got it back. That's really letting you guys in a little bit to the inner workings of how I had to do it, which it's great because there's a lot of lessons to be learned there. But the number one takeaway is follow the freaking rules. I can tell you guys a million things on a Facebook group or through Periscopes, but you have to actually listen to it and do it. I don't know how many times I said, read the rules, do this, do that. I never freaking read them. That is something that is actually new to the FBA master site. I copy and pasted all of the rules from Amazon, their terms of their agreement, their listing, their restricted categories, their listing qualifications, bundling, drop shipping rules. That is all now under the basics of the FBA master website. If you have never read those, take 10 minutes today to read through them. I've even highlighted in Amazon Prime the paragraph that says you cannot use it for resale. And it came straight from Amazon. So what I've been doing is I just want you guys to take a look and read the rules. I don't know how to stress that any more than the way that I'm trying to get this through now. So you guys will get to see all of that next week. We may even do a little pre-Periscope to kind of help you guys out. But I guess my next question is, what do you guys have questions for me? If you do a quick little chat here, I can see them. And I've probably got another 15 minutes of driving here. So I'd be happy to answer any questions. You guys have been a great Periscope audience. I love the little hearts. I'm starting to find out those are good things. Someone explained those to me the other day. And it just looks like someone's releasing a lot of balloons to me. So we got any questions about Amazon Q4, selling strategy, shipping, suspension, madness, anything? I don't see anything. Just a lot of hearts. Nothing? Okay. Well, you guys want me to babble for a little bit longer? Pricing strategy. Okay. We'll go, okay. Let's do pricing strategy, then we'll do the question about complaints that tipped it off. Actually, hold on, let's do the complaints real quick. Now, Amazon would not give me product specifics when I was going through the suspension process. They did not say, Chris, this product is wrong. As many times as I asked, they refused to tell me that. Oh my Lord, I was going crazy. So that one, they did not tell me. Fantasy football, currently right now, I am winning against my brother. He has 2 players left tonight, but I have about a 30-point lead going into it. It's going to be really close. The 2 people he has are pretty good, so he may edge this one out, but I still have him in overall standings in the league. And then on to a repricing strategy, or pricing strategy. So when I buy an item, my entire pricing strategy is sell it for the lowest price on Amazon FBA. That's what I do. And I use a repricer that matches the buy box price, or matches the price there to get me in the buybacks. I use Be Cool for it, but I have to think of it in a way that I am a buyer, and that's the best way to think of your pricing strategy. So there's a few things I won't do. If I have a product that's about $35 or so, I will always stay above $35 to give everybody the free shipping. I will not dip down to like 34 something or another. It'll always be at that 35 mark. That pricing strategy really does work, and it's great. I don't match I do not match merchant fulfilled orders. I will only match the FBA orders because I myself am willing to pay more for Amazon Prime shipped items because I know I'm going to have that guarantee that it's the right item. So I won't match merchant fulfilled items. And then, like, say it's coming around to Q4, which it is. If there's an item that I have that has a very good track record of going up towards the end of Q4, then what I'll do is I will price it to the point I think it'll sell at, and then I'll monitor it, and about 3 weeks out, I'll start turning on my repricer to those items and let it adjust accordingly. So I kind of wait it out on that. But that's a pretty basic overview of my pricing strategy. There's probably, and I don't even realize it, probably a lot more to it. But those are the basics. I match that bottom FBA price because that's what my calculator, when I'm scanning and it's showing me that I'm doing. It's showing me what is your profit at the lowest price. Yes, I could bump it up And if there's some shitty seller on there with like 20% feedback, 2 stars, I'm not going to match their price. But that's just something you have to, it's a case-by-case basis. A lot of times I don't look. I just let Inventory Labs tell me the low price, and I do a 20% increase on that when I'm sending stuff in, so that if they lose it, I get a little bit of extra cash on there. Just a little tip and trick that I do. Percentage rank across categories. I don't follow the percentage rank. I hate that. Not that it's bad. I just don't like to try to remember those numbers. I keep it very... There's only 2 categories that I vary out of my 150,000 or lower rules. And that one would be baby. I just despise the baby category. There's really not that many products in there. It's got to be under 20,000 for me in that. And then books, I'll go up to 1 million in sales rank in books, because there's just so many freaking books. I mean, it's ridiculous. But that's kind of what I do there. So I hope that helps. And I know there's some new people here, FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon. And I have a feeling there's people around the world that are just tuning in to random periscopes. So if you're listening to this, I'm not going to take 20 million minutes to explain it. Go to FBAmaster.com, and you're going to be able to find out a lot more about it there. Any other questions? Video games for Q4. I am not the one to talk to about that. There is a guy named Tyler in the group that is from Alaska, and he is a video game expert. I would definitely reach out to him in the group. He wrote the eBay to Amazon flips. Workflow. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute here. But I would talk to Tyler. He's, I think, a very smart guy, and he deals almost solely in video games. So, new listings and Inventory Lab workflow. New listings, that's a whole nother video. I can't walk through that right now, so we'll go. I'm not going to wreck. It's on my lap. I'm not even looking at it. And then IL workflow. So I use the private workflow 95% of the time. But I'm getting ready as we enter Q4, and I have a little extra help there, turn it over to live. The reason is I had always used inventory placement in the past, who knows how long, past year or so. I've just kind of built it into my shipping costs, and I just wanted to ship it all to one location. But I'm starting to find out with some testing that non-inventory placement, or just distributed inventory, is actually working really well. So I'm going to switch that over, and then my workers are essentially going to pack it as it's. We're going to open a few boxes up, start packing as we go along, and I'm going to love the confirmation of, hey, stupid head, these 5 things are going here, put them in that box instead of having to try to sort it later. That's one advantage of having a Dymo printer that prints after you enter everything in. You're able to actually just sit there and go, yay, this one's going here, this one's going here, and you slap on the sticker and put it in the box. The downside of having to send it to one fulfillment center, it's the cost. Speed and cost. So when I had inventory placement on, it would make me send all of my smaller items to Kentucky, CGV3, and then it would make me send all of my oversized either to Indianapolis, depending on the certain categories, or they'd go down to like Miami, or sometimes Tennessee, the B&A. Tennessee. I've had a few go out to California, but very few. But they charge you 30 cents an item to do that, and then they prorate some poundage fees on there too. An oversized is just a pain in the butt with the fees on there. So I was averaging in, when I was scanning items, about $1 a pound for shipping, just to try to make sure I could alleviate all of the issues with it. My shipping costs were down, but at the cost of the fees I was getting for inventory placement. And Mike Garner can go over the whole inventory placement thing. Sorry, I got yawn there. Because he actually will decide not to use it, and I think his argument is very valid. I think there are some arguments for it in certain situations, but overall, I've got to say that I don't think the cost outweighs the convenience factor. And as much as I hate to say it, I think Mike was right when he wrote his blog post about this, or Facebook post, or whatever he did. If it's not a blog post, we'll get it up as a blog post. But yeah, so there you go, answer to that question. I use the private, but I'm going to start using the live a lot more here in the next few weeks. Okay, anything else? I got a car there. That's a random car. Okay, so I am going to let you guys go. I'm just about done driving today. Maybe we'll do a Periscope after I get home or on my way home from work. Think of some questions. Start a thread in the Facebook group. Start putting in topics, questions, and everything in there that you guys want to learn about in these Periscopes, and I'll start answering them. Like I said, I'm an open book, and I'll repeat these as much as I need to with this stuff, but this stuff will expire in about 24 hours, actually in 24 hours. So make sure to watch it, but if you guys need any other questions, hop into Facebook, leave me a question, and maybe we'll do some fun giveaways later here on Periscope. You guys interested in that? Oh, I like when there's, hotels, inventory placement works. There's situations, like I said, it is definitely situational. I loved it for a long time. I just think there's a lot of fees involved. So I won't say never use it. Just make sure to use it sparingly and intelligently. Okay, I'll see you guys all later. Bye.